A very good evening, much thanks for joining us here on the broadcast. It's the weekend and this is Look Up Weekend. Nancy Nalima here and Angel Lois on the sign language interpretation. And of course, if it's Friday, you know that later on we'll be having the center stage. And tonight, Monica Canary, a renowned fashion designer, will be taking the center stage and will be telling us all the intrigues, the highs and the lows of fashion, and of course, and about an upcoming event next week. But before we get into all that we have prepared for you, here are our top stories. Tonight on Look Up Weekend.
We must brace ourselves for some hard times. It could take us up to 2.5 years to see the down.
Brace yourself for tough times. Prime CS Musalia Mudavadi says the country's economy will not be balanced anytime soon.
Our friends in the media who are used to criticizing us and nobody used to question them. Now things have changed.
You've seen nothing yet, Gachagua tells media as he defends trade CS Moses Courier. Senate Speaker Amazon Kingi calls for a special seating of the Senate to consider the report on Siaya Deputy Governor William Odul's impeachment. And renowned fashion designer Monica Canary takes center stage tonight. Once more, welcome to the broadcast. You can catch this live stream across all our social media platforms at Lookuptv on Twitter, Lookuptv on Facebook, and Lookuptv on our YouTube channel. You can also start sending in your feedback. Remember, tonight we're going to be talking matters of fashion on center stage. Let's begin. Deputy President Rigathi Gachagua now says that the media has seen nothing yet, as he called on other leaders to join CS Moses Courier in holding the press to account. Speaking when he presided over the graduation ceremony at the Jomo Kenyatta University of Agriculture and Technology, the country's second-in-command said the press should embrace criticism as more is yet to come. Henry Tende now reports.
As debate rages on over the government's stand on freedom of the media in the country, Deputy President Rigathi Gachagua has stirred another storm. Rigathi says he fully supports trade CS Moses Courier's attack on Nation Media Group, saying the media must take responsibility for their actions.
Somebody needs to hold the media to account for the things that they write. So welcome to the world of Moses Courier. Welcome. Because no situation is permanent. And I'm so happy the way the media has reacted to criticism. It's good you are feeling the way we feel. You have been hitting us left, right, and center. Nobody has ever held you to account. Now, Moses Courier ameuliza nyinyi maswali tatu tu, you are all over, you are crying.
In the attack that has been condemned by a section of Kenyans and stakeholders in the media fraternity, CS Courier was captured issuing threats to the station while asking government agencies not to advertise with NTV following the story the station ran that implicated him in the edible oil scandal.
This is a new world. So watu ya media karibuni kwa hii Kenya mpya. Tutazoeana pole pole. Mnatugonga hapa kidogo, tunagonga nyinyi saa 8. Sasa nyinyi Courier amegonga nyinyi kidogo, sasa na nyinyi mtugonge kesho, na sisi tugonge nyinyi kesho kutwa, siku zinaenda. And we get to learn to stay with each other. But you must now be accustomed to that new way of doing things.
And in a move that will get Kenyans talking even further, Gachagua has directed other leaders to learn from Courier and demand accountability from media on stories aired.
You have seen nothing. We want to ask leaders in this country to join Moses Courier to hold the press to account. They must be accountable for what they write and what they say. And if they write lies, they must be countered with facts. There is nobody who is immune to accountability. Everybody must be accountable for your actions.
The second-in-command has no apologies whatsoever, as he makes it clear the government will not tolerate any media outlet that engages in what he says unfair criticism of the ruling regime.
You have been having a few days for too long. You must take responsibility for what you write. You must be accountable for what you say. And that is a new Kenya.
Kuria's attack on media has landed at the corridors of justice through a Kenyan, Charles Mugane. The court has barred Kuria from attacking the media any further while the case is still on.
And the same way, the courts have been persuaded to gag Moses Kuria from holding the press to account. I want the same courts, when leaders go to court and ask them to restrain the media from criticizing leaders, the same courts must give same orders so that we are fair.
Ever since they got into power, President Ruto and his team have maintained criticisms of the media, accusing various media outlets of favoring opposition camp. These sustained attacks have Kenyans worried that freedom of the media will be curtailed. Henry Tende, Lookuptv.
And moving on, Prime Cabinet Secretary Musalia Mudavadi now says the country is unlikely to resolve the tough economic times in a short period. Mudavadi, who spoke while officially opening the 2023 Entrepreneurship Conference, said the public should brace themselves for the tough economic times ahead. Brian Moina reports.
A few days after passing the 2023 and 2024 Finance Bill, Prime Cabinet Secretary Musalia Mudavadi has now asked Kenyans to prepare for tough times ahead, saying that the country is in a bad situation.
Yesterday, both the United States and the Central Bank of England were raising interest rates to 5%, which is very high. So as much as we think we are just about to get out of the woods, the world economic situation is again taking a downturn. Because when those interest rates are being raised by these huge economies, they are again going to impact on us. Therefore, because I'm in charge, I'll repeat what I said not too long ago in Parliament, that we are facing difficult times. But do not be cheated that we can get out of those difficult times in 6 months. I did say that we must brace ourselves for some hard times. It could take us up to 2.5 years to see the downturn.
Speaking when he attended the 2023 Entrepreneurship Conference, Mudavadi said that the government is placing strategies to create employment opportunities for the youth and give them better lives in future.
No bad situation is permanent. Even bad situations come to an end. And the bad situation that we may be going through will surely come to an end. So together, if we strike, if we work in consonance, we shall fell this huge tree of unemployment, of the high cost of living, of the difficulty that we are facing in this country.
The tax increase for Kenyans comes at a time when many Kenyans are grappling with tough economic times, decrying punitive taxes. Branham Wai, Lookuptv.
And the Senate Speaker Emerson Kingi has called a special sitting of the Senate to consider a report of a special committee formed to investigate Siaya Deputy Governor William Odwol following his impeachment by Siaya County Assembly. In a Gazette notice dated 22nd June, Kingi wants senators to consider the report of special committee on the proposed removal from office by impeachment of the Deputy Governor of Siaya County. The notice reads, notice is given to all senators that pursuant to Standing Order 33-1 of the Senate Standing Orders, on the request of the Senate Majority Leader and with the support of the requisite number of senators, I have appointed Monday, 26 June 2023 as a day for a special sitting of the Senate and of Court. The sitting will be held on Monday afternoon in the Senate chamber beginning at 2:30 p.m. Odwol was hounded out of office after all the 42 members of the County Assembly unanimously endorsed his removal over alleged gross misconduct and abuse of office. Away from that, the Kwa Uchumi campaign has today joined residents of Mukuru Kwanjenga at St. Mary's Catholic Church Hall in giving their views on the budget policy and finance bill. The residents have complained about the skyrocketing cost of living, blaming the MPs for passing the Finance Bill 2023. They now want the president to employ other ways apart from raising taxes.
Yeah, it's something that
Speaking at St. Mary's Catholic Church in Mukuru Kwanjenga during a meeting convened by the Kwa Uchumi campaign team, the residents expressed their dissatisfaction on the passing of the bill by MPs, terming it as a self-gain to the MPs and not to the citizens.
Sema no, bila kutuambia nasema no, akuje hapa rogote maoni yetu zote. Hii maoni ilitolewa na matajiri. Sisi hatukuletewa hapa mambo ya kuulizwa maswali ya hii mnasema hapa ati kuna financial bill, sijui ni finance bill. Hakuna mtu hapa alikuja kuulizwa swali.
Hii finance bill is very untimely because ina contradict with every agenda enye walituuzia kwa manifesto yao. This regime wakituambia about education, wakituambia about wamama na free ile nini ya wamama kwa ya maternity and sijui pads. Angalia story ya NHIF. NHIF ina benefit nani? It is sisi wenye tuko huku chini au wakigonjeka tunasikianga tu wamefly sijui wameenda huko. So they actually do not work to protect what they have been elected to do. Rather wako tu huko kujisaidia hao wenyewe.
The residents decrying the skyrocketing cost of living are now calling on the national government to look for an alternative way of reducing the cost of living rather than overtaxing Kenyans.
The situation saa hivi vile iko uchumi iko ICU. Ni kudedi na dedi. Na ni nani wanaimaliza? Ni hao watu wenyewe si tulipatia kazi. Mimi naweza taka hivi, wa Kenya tusipoangaliana sisi wenyewe, tusipojiangalia sisi na tuseme hatuta focus sana na vitu hawa wase wanafanya because hao watu wameamua kukaa kwa table peke yao, wana discuss vitu about sisi and then wanatuletea. Mimi nasema wa Kenya, it's our time kwa uchumi.
Mimi ningeomba tu serikali ya leo, wabunge wote, hakuna ya Azimio na hakuna watu ya serikali. Bunge huwa tunaichagua iende ikatengeneze sheria. Lakini manake wameshindwa na kumake those laws, wao wameenda pale kukontroliwa sijui ni nani. Hiyo sio kazi yao. Tuliwachagua waende bunge wapelekee Ruto. Sasa hii Ruto amebakisha wiki mbili, sijui 14 days ndio hiyo kitu ipitishwe. Nani amepitisha? Si Ruto, imepitishwa na Mushiri Mawadhe ambaye ndiye mbunge wangu wa South Embakasi.
Unajaribu kuwekelea sufuria ipate moto, mambo ikichemuka unafanya vipi? Badala ya kupika ugali juu unga hakuna, unapika uji.
Stella Kilonzo, Lookuptv.
This budget and in Najua, this is not the first time.
And today on Your Opinion Matters, we bring to you the opinions of Kenyans in regard to the expected return of the mass protest following a People's Baraza that will be held on Tuesday next week at Kamukunji grounds by the Azimio Coalition.
The Azimio Coalition has called for a People's Baraza next week at Kamukunji grounds after the approval of the 2023 Finance Bill. This posing a threat for the return of the mass action protest. Today, we embark on these streets of Nairobi to gather the views of the citizens towards this action.
Singependa maandamano kurudi kwa sababu itatuharibia mambo mingi sana. Ingawa maisha itaendelea kukua ngumu, lakini kwa maoni yangu mimi singependa maandamano irudi. Juu maandamano haitakuwa ni suluhisho.
Ningependa kama kuna njia nyingine inaweza tumika ili wapunguze iondoe hii maneno ama ituondolee hii ugumu wa maisha ni vizuri, lakini maandamano haitasaidia juu hata ile kazi kidogo tunafanya itakuwa tumeshindwa na kwenda kufanya kazi. Na saa hii mtu asipofanya kazi atalala njaa.
Hii maandamano ifai kwa sababu wakati huu watu wote hakuna mtu ana shida hata mmoja. Hata vile walikuwa nasema ati uga iaguke bei. Kahawa watu wanataka kahawa ipande bei. Ule mtu wako kwa majani anataka majani yake ipande bei. Hata ule mtu wako na mahindi yake anataka ipande bei. Kwa hivyo ile kitu inatakiwa ni watu Kenya ipangwe mzuri.
Si vile ningependa kuwe na maandamano, lakini juu mwanadamu ni yule yule Watu wakisikia maandamano hiyo Tuesday, najua watu watatoka kwa wingi.
Sidhani watu watajitokeza, wamechoka.
Kuna njia mingi sana. Wangu moja anaweza tafuta president, wakae chini waongee. Juu wote ni watu wanajuana. Sisi watu wa chini kufikia president inakuwa ni ngumu. Lakini hao wenyewe vile wako wawili wakubwa wanaweza fika na waongee na wapate suluhisho.
Si vizuri kuwe na maandamano juu biashara zitaanguka, uchumi utarudi chini, lakini hakuna otherwise. Juu sasa mahali tunaelekea tutakuwa kama Sudan ama nchi zile zingine ambazo ziko na vita.
Kwa hivyo watafute njia nyingine na kabisa naweke pressure ile inatakikana kabisa mpaka maisha irudi chini.
Maandamano hakuna kitu inaleta, ni hasara, kwa sababu inasimamita watu wengi. Ni wale wanaonaga ni kama tu Kenya inasimama, lakini ni kama ulimwengu mzima inasimama, kwa sababu kuko mtu ako Tanzania analeta vitu yake hapa, kuko mtu ako hapa anapeleka vitu yake ng'ambo, hata peleka kwa sababu hata kurumisha gari yake akienda airport kwa sababu uko na maandamano. Kwa hivyo hii ni kitu inakuwa inasimamisha kitu mingi na inasimamisha mambo mengi.
Many of the citizens that we have engaged with seems not to be in support with the return of mass protests, saying that it may paralyze their business, while some suggest that this is their only way to communicate their frustrations to the government. Weri Mokimani, Lookuptv, Nairobi.
Thank you, Weri Mokimani. Remember, your opinion matters to us, and that's why every day we go out right there in the streets to give you, of course, an opportunity to weigh in on key matters that affect our nation. And that story right there takes us for a very fast break. When we come back, I'll run you through a few more stories, and then we'll be getting into a conversation tonight. We talk fashion. Who doesn't like to look good? Don't go too far.
Kono ni chakula. Manike. Halo. Aya, na inashika. They lay eggs.
Alafu ni hermaphrodite, hakuna ati male na female specific. So
male na male
ziko na sex zote. Inafulika ambayo iko hapa. Ndio hii hapa kama unaweza iona. Na achatina. Meno zake ni very tiny sana. So hata wakati wakikula utasikia kichiu.
Ina crash.
Ina crash.
Michezo na wachezaji. Matukio na matokeo uwanjani. Tumejifunga kibwebwe kukuletea mbwembwe. Si mazungumzo ya kusisimua. Ndiyo maana safu ya spoti ipo hapa kwa ajili yako. ZFC! Nami hapa nahodha Robert Chacha, sisuisui na kuandalia kipindi bomba cha safu ya spoti kila siku ya Jumamosi kuanzia saa 7:30 ndani ya runinga nambari 1 ya michezo Lookuptv.
Welcome back. Thank you so much for staying with Lookuptv. This is Lookup Weekend. Nancy Nalima here and Angel Lois on the sign language interpretation. Let's continue. The new Global Financial Pact Summit has agreed to further discussions on reforming multilateral development banks. The two-day meeting in Paris also settled on a financial compact to assist the poor in coping with climate change. Further, there was an agreement that countries can fight poverty and confront climate change both at once. Kenya's President William Ruto was in attendance.
Clarify. Emmanuel, you've been speaking to you as a member of the G7, you have been immensely accommodative of all the divergent views that have come on the floor and in all the fora that we have enjoyed ourselves in here. We are saying we want this time round a mechanism that involves everybody, where we are all paying, where we are all involved, and where we all decide. Because climate change is not about the North or the South, it's about all of us. And the discussion about carbon tax is a discussion that is a must-have. And on this one, we do not want the North to pay for the South. We want all of us to pay. Whether it is aviation tax, whether it is fuel tax, whether it is shipping tax, we want to pay because we want to be on the table. The conversation about who has not paid, we have agreed that we have to rethink. We are in a new normal, the new normal that came through the pandemic, into the Ukraine-Russia war, into the vagaries and what climate change is doing to us, floods, cyclones, droughts, and the threat to humanity that we see. This new normal requires a new approach. We're all clear that up to 52 countries are facing debt distress. I listened to my sister Kristalina, and you know, Kristalina, we have a wonderful relationship. You have been immensely supportive of Kenya. But looking at this context and listening to the discussion about the SDR, the allocation, the reallocation.
And back here, the ward representatives of the Kiambu Parliament have passed the budget estimates for 2023-2024. This is estimated to be the biggest because it is 22 billion shillings. They intended to collect 8 billion, which will come from taxes. Achema Tumora with more on the counter wrap.
Leaders from Kiambu have given a guarantee to the residents that no taxes will be increased. To get the money instead, they are closing the loops that public money has been getting lost through. Strategies that they have put in place to ensure that those funds are well used in effectiveness of government's project.
Tumepanga budget ya bilioni 22, 22 billion. Na hiyo budget tumeweka hapo, ile pesa sisi tutajirogotea sisi wenyewe. Kutoka ile iliyowekwa mbeleni bilioni 3, sisi tumeweka bilioni 7 ambayo tutarogota, na tuko na uhakika ya kwamba tutarogota hiyo pesa. Kwa vile tumeweka mikakati mizuri. Ya kwanza tumeweka mpango wa kumaliza wizi na ufisadi ndani ya kaunti ya Kiambu.
Elsewhere, the spouse to Kakamega governor has issued a warning to the health professionals who are selling essentials, equipment and medicine for cancer patients. She alleged that healthcare providers in public facilities are involved in bribery contracts and illegal sales of important equipment.
Cervical cancer inapata kina mama, but the virus that causes cervical cancer in women is the same one that causes breast cancer in men. Mara nyingi wanaume wanafikiria kwamba ugonjwa wa kansa ni wa kina mama. Si ndio? But wanaume are not any safe. Kuna prostate cancer na kuna breast cancer kwa wanaume. So sisi wote akina mama na wazee tuende tufanye screening.
And in Uasin Gishu County, the ceremony of giving title deed has seen more than 300 people benefiting. The mother to President William Ruto is among the few who benefited. The governor of Uasin Gishu promised to issue the certificate to each landowner.
Watu kazi. Hakuna kucheza hapa. Hii ni maisha ya watu wamengoja title deed miaka ya zaidi ya 30, wengine 40, wengine tangu mzungu aende. Hawajaona title deed ni kitu gani. Mumekaa kotini miaka yote tangu uzaliwe mpaka leo. Na koti inakula pesa yako. Wakili anararua pesa yako kila siku, mara wale maprogas wanasema tuma pesa, leo tunaenda kuamua ya ukweli kabisa. Mmengoja hivyo karibu Yesu arudi na hujapata title.
Finally, the women representative in Nyandarua County, Faith Gitau, has asked all those in leadership position and well-wishers to help the widows in society. The MP also called upon the widows to form groups and apply for funds for their economic empowerment.
Ama program ya kuangalia since 2017. Kwa hivyo nawaangalia vizuri, naona wale wako na groups, tunawainua, tunawapatia pesa ya kujisimamia.
Achema Tumona, Lookuptv.
And on the business front, traders in Kajiado town have suffered greatly from the shortage of ripe bananas caused by extreme long-term drought in Kajiado County, thus causing the price of bananas to double. This shortage has contributed to huge losses among the traders due to customers boycotting the product. This and more in our business wrap.
Banana sellers in Kitengela town, Kajiado County, have been forced to sell other available fruits including watermelon in order to recover from their losses caused by high banana prices being experienced. That has led to lack of customers for the commodity.
Imekuwa na changamoto sana kulingana sasa kwa sababu ya ukame. Imekuwa na shida sana kwa sababu haipatikani kwa sababu ya ukame. Kupata faida imekuwa, kwa mfano wale mtu naendea kwake ni kuje niuze, imekuwa bei kali sana. So sasa imekuwa changamoto sana kupata profit. Profit ni kidogo sana.
Elsewhere, at least 600 farmers from Shama Ward in Nyandarua County have benefited from the Dairy Goats and Heifers Improvement Program that is aimed at increasing milk production and farming activities.
Leo tuko hapa Shamata Ward Karandi tuki-launch. Tulikuwa hapa mwezi jana tukapeana mbuzi na sasa tumekuja kuongezea vikundi zingine kama 30 mbuzi za maziwa. Ni kwa sababu tumeona hapa watu wenye wako bidii, climate hapa si mbaya sana, lakini nyasi huwa inamea wakati wa jua inakauka bila kusaidia mtu yote. Na ndio tukaona ni njia gani tutafufiri promise yetu ile tulisema ya kwamba tutaweka pesa katika mifuko ya watu wetu.
Finally, Nyamira County Government in partnership with Zipline Company have offered a distribution of drugs to health facilities through the use of drones which will address emergency services, especially on delivery of medicines to those facilities which are in remote areas.
They had to reach areas where they have challenges of storage. So you find that some facilities cannot even store blood, they cannot store vaccines, and this is because they have challenges of storage, whether it's electricity, whether it's even the gadgets themselves, let's say the fridges. So we support them in that, strengthening the health system.
Lydia Mweri, Lookuptv.
Time now to get sporty. World Rally Championship entered its second day with a tight action race between different rally drivers. Sebastian Ogier is currently leading in Toyota Yaris GR. Vincent Landis is holding the second place, while the famous Kenyan rally champion is in 16th place. In addition, the KCB Bank is celebrating 2 decades of sponsoring the Rally Championship, while rally fans joined the events that attracted both local and international visitors.
So Kenya celebrates 70 years of the Safari Rally, and KCB has been part of 20 years. So for the last 2 decades, KCB as a brand, as an organization, has been participating in motorsports, up and including the WRC sponsorship. I am looking forward to seeing the KCB drivers, but to be very honest, every single driver must be applauded for getting to this level. So I will be cheering on all the Kenyan drivers for one, but all drivers.
This is very well organized. More importantly, I'm happy with the vendors. Last time it was very difficult to get vendors. I think they were paying some money, but now you can see the local people here have a chance to showcase the product at basically little or no fee. Sports is a career. We should make people understand that it's not what people call machinano, just competing. There is a career. Look at people like Hamilton in Formula 1. Yeah, there is employment and a career in motorsport. Yeah, so we should let people know that this is not just driving a car. This is extremely professional sport, which we should encourage our people to take part in.
We are very happy for both Kenya and Uganda that the WRC is back. And actually, I can tell you that this WRC is almost for Ugandans, I can say, because we cannot travel to Europe, You cannot travel to South Africa to watch this rally. But we are happy. It is just close to us. It's a few miles away, almost 700 kilometers from Uganda to here.
And of course, we're keeping an eye on that WRC and we're giving you the brief as and when it happens tomorrow. The 23rd edition of the Lewa Safari Marathon will take place tomorrow at Lewa Downs Wildlife Conservancy. The marathon involves 3 categories, including 5 kilometers for children, 21 kilometers for both male and females, and 42 kilometers, for males only. Lewa Safari Marathon is held each year with the intention of uplifting the community and conserving both wildlife and the environment.
Wakimbiaji wameanza kufika wote, madaktari wale watatusaidia wako, wale watakuwa juu kwa hewa kutuangalia, nyinyi wenyewe mko hapa ndipo tuko live, kila kitu iko shwari kabisa. Ni 50 million Kenya shillings na tunaona tuko karibu kufika pale na tunaomba ya kwamba wafadhili tunawaambia ni asanti, na wale ambao wanasikia ujumbe huu hata wakati huu tafadhali tusaidieni, na hata tukikimbia kesho sio kumaanisha kusaidiwa imeisha. Watu wanaweza endelea tu kuleta kwa sababu hiyo pesa ikiletwa Lewa itakuwa na manufaa zaidi, na tunaomba waendelee kushikana na sisi. Ni wapi kwingine utakapokuja ukimbie ukiwa umelindwa vizuri na ukiwa unapigiwa makofi na wanyama? Ni wapi kwingine? Ni hapa Lewa. Kwa hivyo inakuwa mzuri ukimbie, unaona wanyama ukikimbia, kuko na maji katika course, kuko na fruit kidogo pale, kuko na first aiders pale, na hakuna mbio nyingine utakaokimbia ujue umechoka, lakini umechoka kwa sababu kuna jawabu kwa mtu fulani. Kukimbia kwako kutasaidia mama fulani kuanzisha biashara, kukimbia kwako kutafanya mwanafunzi fulani arudi shule, kukimbia kwako kutafanya zahanati nyingine ipate dawa. Yani ina maana. Kwa hivyo
Uasin Gishu Governor Jonathan B has urged the Cabinet Secretary for Sports Ababu Namwamba to complete the unfinished Kipchoge Keino Stadium. Governor B also added that Ababu Namwamba is not fulfilling his promise of building the stadium despite visiting it on Tuesday this week. He also said that the county is known for producing sportsmen and the facilities will facilitate the nurturing of more talents.
Juzi tumekuwa na waziri Namwamba na tukamwambia Namwamba, hii si mara ya kwanza ukuje kwa hiyo stadium ya Kipchoge. Ni ulikuja siku ile tukaenda na wewe pale na ukafuadisha sura, nikafikiri kazi itafanyika. Hakuna kitu ilifanyika. Juzi ukakuja tena na pamoja na PS wako, nikaona sura, nikafikiri sasa itaisha tena. So tunataka kusema, ambia sisi ukweli. Kama hii kitu haifanyiki utuambie haifanyiki. Kulikuwa na matumaini yenye hakuna. Kakamega Stadium yao ni tayari, Kisumu Stadium yao ni tayari, kule mahali pengine ni tayari. Hii yetu mahali tunasema ni County of Champions. Champion kitu gani na hakuna stadium hapa? Zote za kusaidia sisi tujenge hii stadium imwakiwe sahi between now and August ya devolution. Tuhakikishe tumesukuma, na kama kuna mtu alikula pesa ya hii county na ukula pesa ya stadium, si ashikwe. Pana cheza na mali ya raia. Mimi nataka nimwambie Ababu Namwamba, tafadhali Mheshimiwa CS, sisi hapa tuko na jina kubwa sana. Wakimbiaji
Right, and this is the end of the first part of our broadcast this evening. When we come back after this break, we'll be talking to our guest here in studio. Remember, it is center stage. If it's Friday at 9:30, you know we are taking the center stage. And tonight, Monica Canary, a renowned fashion designer, I will be speaking to her. She'll be telling us all the intrigues and the intricacies in the fashion business, and of course about an upcoming event as well. Talk to us. Do let us know where you're watching us from, and what do you want to know about fashion? What do you want to know about textile and leather? And Lookuptv on Twitter, Lookuptv on Facebook, and Lookuptv on our YouTube channel. Don't go too far. And coming up, we dive deep into the conversation of fashion and design as Monica Canary takes center stage.